helping Greenville grow and prosper for nearly 30 years. He's the man to help us plan our next 30 years of growth and prosperity.
I want to help Greenville realize its great potential as a vibrant city, rich in cultural and recreational amenities, attractive to business and industry, a great place to live and work. Together we can make a city that's ready for the future, ready for our children. I seek your support.
Vote Richard Croskery for District 5. Healthy growth for Greenville.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Hello, I'm Michael Overton, candidate for Greenville City Council District 5. As a third-generation businessman in this city, I understand what it takes to create jobs by maximizing our strengths and addressing our challenges. In my business as a realtor, I understand the importance of having vibrant neighborhoods and the delicate balance that exists between preservation and development. And as a citizen, I want Greenville to be the town my two little girls grow up to call home, and also the town where others choose to live, work, and play. Thank you in advance for your vote this Tuesday.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
Cable 7 and 103.7 WTIB present Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton. News, sports, and community information, and everything that's going on around town. Now, with Talk of the Town, here's your host, Henry Hinton.
Okay, welcome in, 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. It is Talk of the Town for Monday morning, the 4th day of November. Trent McGee is here in the studio. Good morning, McGee.
Good morning, Hen.
And we'll have Carly Swain back, WITN, here in a few minutes to update us on what's going on. And a lot going on because tomorrow is Election Day. The polls in Greenville are closed today. Don't try to go out and vote today at any of the early voting sites because early voting is over. And if you didn't vote by now, you got to wait and go to your precinct tomorrow. But I was just scanning some interesting things. The information that Dave Davis from the Board of Elections sent me over the weekend. Really interesting stuff, I think, including some comparisons. During the early voting period this year, there were about 6,100 people who voted, compared to in 2009, just 2,700 people who voted in early voting. How about that? And then two years ago, there were about 3,100 people who voted. So about 3,000, almost exactly 3,000 more people voted in early voting this year than in 2011 for city council. And now remember, we had a pretty brisk election in 2011. Remember Alan Thomas was running against Pat Dunn for the first time? There was some other really contested, the Mayor Thomas was running for the first time, and there were some other contested races. Now, the Board of Elections has supplied us with information about how many people voted in each district, which I find to be a little bit telling. What do you make of this? In Greenville City Council District 1, let's go through these one by one, all 5 districts. In City Council District 1, there were 663 people who voted. Now, that's of the 6,000 people, so about 10% of the total vote totals came out of District 1. And you have a contested race there with Clinton Anderson running against Candy Smith, the incumbent. But in District 2, there were 615 people who voted. And now keep in mind that Rose Glover is running unopposed in District 2. Almost as many people voted in District 2 as in District 1. So now, could you assume from that maybe the black vote is going to be higher than normal?
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, does that favor Dennis Mitchell in the city council at large race? Does it favor either one of the candidates in the mayor's race? I can't think of who would have the advantage, either Alan Thomas. Although I will say this, I noticed over the weekend that Alan Thomas had an ad in the newspaper and sent out a flyer that showed that former Mayor Ed Carter and Reverend Sidney Locks, who are 2 of the pillars of the black community in Greenville, are endorsing Mayor Thomas. I found that to be a pretty good hit for Alan Thomas. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And the fact that we see that those 2 districts are fairly small districts, but they're all mostly in the black areas of town. Not totally, because you have Ironwood in District 1 as well. But it looks like the turnout was pretty good in Districts 1 and District 2. Now, to me, this is a very telling thing. In Greenville District 3, where you have the incumbent Marion Blackburn, and the challenger is Catherine Weatherington, who is the general manager of Winslow's Tavern here in Greenville. 806 people voted. Now, this is a very small district, and it has been known over the years to be a district where where turnout is not that great, to be honest with you. I believe somebody told me that Marion Blackburn got something like maybe about 750 votes in the last total, or maybe it was 900, something like that. But it was less than 1,000 votes and won. And so there's been a lot of discussion about whether or not the students are coming out to vote. And it appears to me that maybe the students are actually voting this time around. I know there's been a real brisk effort to get the students registered and try to get them to turn out and vote. Now, if that happens, in my opinion, this is just one man's opinion, that would favor Catherine Weatherington. So, and if you go through, I've ridden through all the different areas of town, and people get too hyped up about who's got the most signs out and that kind of thing. But if you ride through even the Truna neighborhood, the Tar River University Neighborhood Association area, down from what they call the grid between 5th Street and the river, you see probably the signage, Catherine Weatherington about 4-1, even in that neighborhood.
I've not been through
Now,
that.
it could just mean that, one person's campaign strategy was to spend a lot of money on signs and one was not. Because I have a good friend who's a political consultant who always says a sign never voted, and you can never tell anything by signs. And I think it's true because, look, a lot of people will even put a sign in their yard and not vote for the person that's signing it. They either won't show up to vote at all, but they've been asked to put the sign in the yard and they're too embarrassed to say no. Isn't that true? That's what happens a lot of times. The other thing is they might put a sign in the yard supporting somebody and then vote for the other person. So, I don't think signage is that good of a marker as to whether or not a person is going to win or not? But I do find it interesting that in that neighborhood, Catherine Wetherington has a lot of people with signs in their yard. Now that area also encompasses all the way out to up Highway 33 as well.
You know what I think signs help, and this is just my opinion, when you don't know who to vote for and you're wrestling between two candidates and you have the vision of that one sign that sticks out in your head that you've seen that's so big, and you just happen to vote for that person.
Well, if that's the case, then Michael Overton's going to get help by signage because he's got
he
Alan
does.
Tyler. They got
they
huge
do.
signs. So anyway, 806 people have voted in District 3, which I find to be pretty good. To be you think about it, that's only 800 people. But I mean, it's a small district, and again, I think 800 people in that district. I am predicting everybody. I think assumed that Marion Blackburn was going to win that district. I now believe, and I could be wrong. We'll find out Tuesday night. I now believe that is going to be a very close race in District 3 between Marion Blackburn and Catherine Wetherington. I think that's closer than people may think. Now, in District 4, there were more votes cast than any other district in town in early voting. 1,310 people voted in District 4. Terry Williams is is one person in that race. Rick Smiley is the other. I believe that I firmly believe that that Terry Williams is probably is going to win that district. That's what I'm thinking. I think that one is probably if I could call honestly all the races in town. If I was going to call one, I'd call that one. I would say that Terry's going to win that, but we'll see. It just depends on how many people Rick Smiley has motivated throughout the Brook Valley area and through there. But, Terry is very well liked. I think the newspaper treated her very unfairly, and I think they printed everything negative that came out of the Rick Smiley camp about her. And I thought that was unconscionable, the way some of that stuff was handled. But, again, if you go and look at I thought it was funny yesterday, the newspaper keeps endorsing candidates, and to me, if I was running, I would not want the Daily Reflector to endorse me because of the way they've conducted the campaign and the articles that they've written. It's looked like they've been in the camp of Calvin Mercer and that crowd. I mean, that's the way it's looked to me from day one. So but interestingly, Terry Williams did get their endorsement. Maybe that was payback for all the articles they wrote about her. But then District 5.
My district.
In my district. You have
You're in 5 too?
You have Dr. Okay. Yeah, I'm in District 5. You have Dr. Rick Croskery running against Michael Overton. Now, this is, to me, this one is a toss-up. I don't know who's going to win that.
I don't either.
I would have thought early on that potentially Rick Croskery might have the edge for this reason and this reason only. He's been around Greenville a long time, and he's done a lot of things involved with the Chamber and the Greenville Choral Society and all that. But you can't discount Mike Overton's, involvement in even though he's a younger guy. Of course, he's got the Overton name, which is one of the most famous names in Greenville. Michael's such a likable guy. Both of those guys are it's hard not to like either one of those guys. And so, that one could come down to who has contact, who has the most contacts there. I will say this, it would be kind of neat. It would be kind of neat to see both of those guys on the city council. So whoever loses that race, I hope they will consider running again because I think both of them would have a lot to offer to the city of Greenville. And I think that one's too close to call.
What were the numbers in District 5?
1,032. There were less people, and I believe District 5 is bigger than District 4. I think I'm right about that. But there were less people voting in District 5 than there were in District 4 in early voting. So, again, that could mean that, I think Terry Williams has gotten her folks motivated and gotten them out in District 4, and you wonder about District 5. Now, the two big races, the citywide races, the at-large city council seat, which is the incumbent, of course, Dennis Mitchell, and the challenger, Calvin Mercer. Here's the thing about the two races. I really believe that most people who know Calvin Mercer or they know Alan Thomas, they're unequivocal about whether they're going to support him or not. They're either going to like Calvin or not like him. They're either going to like Alan Thomas or not like Alan Thomas. And generally, you would see the people who are supporting Calvin Mercer probably not supporting Alan Thomas, and the people supporting Alan Thomas not supporting Calvin Mercer. That's my analysis of it. So I think this is going to be an interesting race. And you wonder how one of these races will influence the other, because they're the only two citywide races. And you want to know the truth? As I sit here this morning, I think that the city council at large race is going to be close. I think it's going to be close. But there's something, and I will say this about the mayor's race. Tom Best has gotten out there, and, he was unknown at first, and I got to hand it to him. He's kind of gotten out there, but I don't think he's given the general voter out there a reason to throw Alan Thomas out. I mean, I think most of the complaints that have come from the Tom Best, Calvin Mercer camp have to do with stuff that happened again with that 4 unrelated rule. And I don't think the average person in Greenville gives a darn about it. I just don't think it's an issue for anybody. But I will say this, they've tried, Calvin has tried to make that an issue by saying, it could be coming to a neighborhood near you because the mayor said it. And I will say this, I think that the way that these races have been run, that there have been some very unbecoming things in both of these races that we don't need in local Greenville city politics. I will say that it's been a nasty campaign with both the city council at large and the mayor's race. We got Carly Holding. Carly, are you there?
Yes.
Were you listening to my analysis of the elections?
I'll be honest, I was kind of half listening.
You were half listening. You were just waiting for me to say you're on, weren't you?
No, I had some journalistic things I was doing.
You were actually working?
I was.
All right. Carly's down at WITN this morning, and she now brings us the very latest. Here is Carly Swain live with WITN News Headlines. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning, Henry. About 44 degrees if you're just stepping out on this Monday morning, time now 8:20. Here's new information this morning. The Coast Guard says they're now waiting on some further information from a local sheriff's office before resuming the search for a missing boater. Officials said that a driver off the Highway 32 bridge near Edenton reported seeing a man falling overboard on a 39-foot boat. That was around 11:30 Sunday morning. Now, a Good Samaritan has found the boat, got it anchored, rescued a dog that was still on board. Officials searched the Albemarle Sound most of the day Sunday by air and by water, but did not find that mariner. On Sunday, crews said that searches would resume at sunrise today. But earlier this morning, the Coast Guard told me that their crews were awaiting word from the Chowan County Sheriff's Office investigators before deploying resources to restart that search. Meteorologist Jim Howard was estimating water temperatures to be in the mid-60s in the area of that missing boater. North Carolina public school educators who are unhappy with some recent spending cutbacks and another year without pay raises will highlight those challenges as they head to work this week. Many teachers intend today to participate in a walk-in where they'll be wearing red and entering through the front door on the way to their morning classes as a sign of unity. They're also being urged to hold meetings after school to talk about their concerns. They're inviting parents and elected officials to visit. The North Carolina Association of Educators promoted the event as an alternative to a walk-out, which had been pushed by some teachers in recent months. Public employee strikes are technically against state law. Some Republican legislators say that the NCAE is still actively promoting a strike. The group's top leader says that's just not true. A woman in the East hit by a car over the weekend, now accused of underage drinking. Greenville police say it happened Saturday at 3271 East 10th Street. That's in front of the 33 East Student Apartment Complex. Officers say the woman was hit while crossing the street, shutting down 10th Street for nearly half an hour. She was treated for minor injuries at Vidant and also cited for failure to yield right-of-way and underage consumption. Police have not released that woman's name at this point. Finally, this morning, we're remembering an NBA Hall of Famer from New Bern. Walt Bellamy has died. The Atlanta Hawks say that Bellamy went to the team's home opener on Friday. The Hall of Fame center, 20.1 points and 13.7 rebounds in 14 seasons in the NBA from 61 to 1974. The former Indiana University star won an Olympic gold medal in 1960. The New Bern native was 74 years old. That's a look at your WITN News update. Time now 8:23. Henry, back to you.
All right, Carly Swain, thank you, my dear. Nice to hear from your voice this morning, although we didn't get to see your smiling face. I did see it earlier this morning when I was watching WITN.
Good deal.
All right, we'll see you later.
Have
thank
a
you,
good
Carly.
Monday.
Carly Swain live down at WITN this morning, and now here's McGee with a weather update at 23 after 8.
Some clouds for tonight, and temperatures again cool, lows in the low 40s for your Tuesday. Sunshine and clouds mixed with a high of 67 degrees. Some clouds early giving way to clear skies for Tuesday night with a low of 47 degrees. A mix of sun and clouds with a high in the low 70s, highs in the low 70s for Wednesday, lows in the upper 50s. And Thursday, just like last week, again, a chance of showers coming into the area on Thursday, and highs getting back up in to the low 70s with lows in the low 40s. Right now, it is currently 43 degrees.
All right, so it's going to be a cooler Monday, but the rest of the week looks really nice. Actually, today's going to be nice, too. Today might be the nicest fall day because temperature is going to be cool, but it's going to be sunny. I love days like that.
Me too.
Very nice. News and weather this hour brought to you by Suddenlink. You know, Satellite has done it again. Dish Network dropping WNCT here in Greenville. Don't miss out on your favorite programs like Big Bang Theory, NCIS, local news or weather, as well as NFL and college football. Switch now to Suddenlink and leave those dish problems in the past, and don't get locked into a satellite contract. Call today, switch and save with Suddenlink. Call them at 1-866-432-1184. If this is a true bundle, satellite can't do that. Switch now to Suddenlink, bundle and save. 1-866-432-1184. And it's November now, so some new movies on video on demand, and some good ones too. Starting tomorrow, Grown Ups 2 will debut on video on demand. Later this month, Turbo, Paranoia, Two Guns, Planes, Jobs, and Red 2. And there's some pay-per-view events this month as well. If you're into the UFC fighting, the Ultimate Fighting. Yeah. They've got St. Pierre and Hendricks coming up on the 16th. Also some boxing events pay-per-view. They've got, is it Pacquiao versus Rios on the 23rd. And for you WWE fans, the Survivor Series on the 24th of this month. You got plenty of time to call Suddenlink and get hooked up at 1-866-432-1184. 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's get a break in. More Talk of the Town underway. We're going to try to see if we can get a report on what's happening in Raleigh. You know, again, this teacher walk-in, which is just a nice way of saying they were striking for the beginning of the workday today, supposed to be underway right now. We're going to check and see if we can get a report on that when we come back. Stay with us. More Monday Talk of the Town for November 4th on the way.
Cutting your taxes by $4.2 million. Launching Greenville's first economic development office, creating $300 million in new growth. New leadership in law enforcement, transforming downtown with entire blocks revitalized. I'm Mayor Alan Thomas, and I would appreciate your vote on November 5th.
Summer may be over, but vacation time starts now. Greenville Toyota is going to give you a payment vacation. Make no payments until 2014 on any new Toyota. Pick the new Toyota you want and don't make a payment until next year. Like the all-new 2014 Corolla, in stock and available now. Only $148 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with cover maintenance for life with the Greenville Toyota Advantage. Give Greenville Toyota just 15 minutes to lower your current car payment and then take a payment vacation with no payments till 2014.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs. Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Pitt Community College is doing an excellent job in serving the people in Pitt County and eastern North Carolina. One of the biggest challenges we have, though, is in handling the large demand. We're the most crowded of all higher education institutions, public or private. A bond referendum by Pitt Community College has not been requested of the voters since 1989. On November 5th, voters will have the option to consider this ballot. We would like to see as many people as possible go out and vote November 5th.
Cutting your taxes by $4.2 million. Launching Greenville's first economic development office, creating $300 million in new growth. New leadership in law enforcement, transforming downtown with entire blocks revitalized. I'm Mayor Alan Thomas, and I would appreciate your vote on November 5th.
Okay, welcome back. It's Talk of the Town Monday morning, everybody. It is 47 degrees?
43.
43 degrees. And the sun is out. Beautiful Monday morning. Welcome back to the work week. We just talked to Patrick Johnson live in Raleigh, and we're going to try to get Patrick on here in a few minutes. He's on live now on his home station in Raleigh, WPTF, and we're trying to get a report on what is happening. If you know of any teacher walk-ins or protests this morning, we'd love to hear from you. Just call us at 561-8255, 561-8255. Love to hear from you this morning. And I've had some emails and texts while we're waiting for Patrick. We can get Patrick in about 5 or 10 minutes here, and we'll find out what's happening with that. I was talking about the shooting in the Walmart parking lot, and the fact that there's going to be a fundraiser this Friday night at the American Legion building on St. Andrews Drive here in Greenville for Mr. Vernon Leggett, who is one of the people who was shot. And if you missed that, it's only $15. It's a barbecue dinner and a band going from 7 to 11. Go by there and leave a donation even if you can't eat, which is what I'm going to try to do. I know Mr. Leggett personally, and he's had a rough time after the shooting, but I made the comment that he was shot for absolutely no reason. And David has emailed me and said is taking issue with the fact that I said shot for no reason. And this is what he says. And of course, when I said shot for no reason, I should have said shot for no good reason. Because the truth is we don't know what the reason was. But David makes a good point. He says a day or so after the shooting on Tom and Sadie, Tom said there was Islamic material found in the dwelling. Maybe a week later, Tom just mentioned the Islamic material, and I think that was in the media. There was no doubt about that. There was Islamic material found in the young man's apartment. That doesn't mean that's the reason he did it, but it could be a clue for sure. He says also a few years back during the Fort Dix event at Sheetz at 10th and Cotanche, the same day of Fort Dix, I saw 2 young Islamic guys dressed exactly like the pictures of bin Laden walking down the mountain. These guys were ecstatic about something. David, you may be connecting the dots on something there. I called the FBI. They were not impressed. But I ask you, was the shooting for absolutely no reason? I got you. I hear you.
I get
it probably was not for no reason. It probably was for some reason. The reason could be that the young man was just deranged and mentally ill. I don't know what the reason, but I didn't mean to set that firestorm off. But I get it. I get what he's saying. Also, Tom has texted me and said, "What do you think about the officiating in the game on Saturday night?"
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that.
There was some. You know what I've come to really
that was suspect.
I've come to really appreciate the NFL football officials. Those guys are good. You know what? And they get it right.
They do get it right.
There was the play at the end of the Washington Redskins game yesterday where the guy dove for the end zone and didn't get in. I think
the Chargers,
the San Diego, he didn't get in. And look, he hit the pylon, but as it turned out, he hit the pylon with his foot, and they ended up having to kick a field goal. They did not get the touchdown. That was a big play, but the NFL guys got that right. And thank goodness for instant replay.
That call that was called in the ECU FIU game, the running into the kicker call may have been the worst call I've seen the entire season.
Was that absurd or
that
what?
That was so bad. And that official, the entire game, had the same look on his face. He was just an odd looking. That whole situation with him and those calls.
Oh, it was the look on his face?
Did you see how he looked like he just didn't?
He looked dumb?
Well, he just didn't look.
The officials looked dumb, and then they went on to prove that they were.
I wasn't saying he.
No, that
looked
running
dumb.
into the kicker, and there were a couple of other calls too. But I mean, on both sides, I thought that Florida International was not.
He looked like after he made that call, like because he didn't throw it immediately.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to throw it on you.
I actually was pretty impressed with Florida International. You take a look at that. They got Steve Shankweiler down there as their offensive coordinator. He's their offensive run game coordinator. And they got Ron Turner as their head coach. When I saw Ron Turner, I was like, Ron Turner, that guy's a big-time coach. How did Florida – I was trying to think. And, that guy was the head coach at the University of Illinois, was the coach of the year in the Big Ten.
Been in the NFL?
Why is he in Florida? Why is he at Florida International? I guess it's like all the rest of them. They eventually get fired, and he, again, you got to be doing it for the love of the game, and they're probably getting paid pretty well since they're going into Conference USA. But boy, if you ever wanted to kind of get the sense of how bad the Conference USA thing is, how about that stadium on Saturday night?
And you were right. They do have to keep a minimum attendance at games.
Has that become just a joke? I mean, my friend Scott Shook was down there at the game, and I was texting him during the game, and I'm like, it looks like there's 500 people there. And he says, yeah, most of them are East Carolina fans.
They were.
Florida International clearly has no fans, and they got this little tiny stadium, and I don't think they have a press box. My understanding is that the media works under a tent at the top. I mean, it's like you probably have better working conditions when you're doing Northampton games, McGee, up there on the Murfreesboro station.
Mm-hmm. That's bad.
But, that's just pathetic. This conference has turned out to be pathetic. And, thank God we escaped it. We almost didn't. And think about Southern Miss now with their great program. And they're, of course, they're having their problems, but this is the conference now?
It's bad.
It's crazy to have a school like East Carolina that's got a 50,000 seat stadium and fills it up for every game, or at least gets 40, 43, 45,000 people in it, and being a conference with a team like Florida International.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I was pretty impressed with their team considering they look like they're getting coached pretty well. They're all very young, and they were not recruited to play at this level. They were basically recruited to play at the Division II, Division III level.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff.
I was texting with Steve Shankweiler, my buddy down there, who's on that staff, and I was during the day he and I were texting back and forth game day. And I was asking him, I was telling him we missed him and all that stuff because Shank's a great guy. And we miss he and Patty here in Greenville. They were here in Greenville for so many years, and now he's on the staff. Then I said, but he thought that East Carolina was going to blow him off the field. He thought the talent gap. But you got to hand it to him. It was a pretty close game for most of the game.
Yeah, it was, and I give ECU. I think ECU helped with that. Yeah, you could tell. I think Lincoln Riley tried to get a couple of big plays back early in that game when he felt like they knew they were the better football team, and he probably went for the home run and just didn't connect. And that, when you play a football team like FAU like that, that FIU, excuse me, they stick around.
FAU is the one with the dope smoking coach.
Yeah, I get them confused every now and then.
Nice conference.
Yeah, hey,
nice conference.
But
USA.
Big win for them over Tulane over the weekend.
Yeah, that's the good news. Tulane lost. That doesn't really do much for us, unless Tulane loses another one.
Yeah.
But if East Carolina wins out and Tulane loses another game, that means we would host the Conference USA Championship game here in Greenville in the first week of December, which would be neat.
Yeah,
we'd get another home game, which is about $1 million into the economy.
Yeah,
of Greenville. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to try to get a report out of Raleigh. Patrick Johnson over at WPTF is hopefully we're going to be able to get Pat on and weigh in on what's going on with this teacher protest this morning. The walk-ins is what we're hearing them called. We'll be right back with that.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
Rick Croskery knows Greenville and its people. He's been helping Greenville grow and prosper for nearly 30 years. He's the man to help us plan our next 30 years of growth and prosperity.
I want to help Greenville realize its great potential as a vibrant city, rich in cultural and recreational amenities, attractive to business and industry, a great place to live and work. Together we can make a city that's ready for the future, ready for our children. I seek your support.
Vote Richard Croskery for District 5. Healthy growth for Greenville.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we are empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Hello, I'm Michael Overton, candidate for Greenville City Council District 5. As a third-generation businessman in this city, I understand what it takes to create jobs by maximizing our strengths and addressing our challenges. In my business as a realtor, I understand the importance of having vibrant neighborhoods and the delicate balance that exists between preservation and development. And as a citizen, I want Greenville to be the town my two little girls grow up to call home, and also the town where others choose to live, work, and play. Thank you in advance for your vote this Tuesday.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
Back on Talk of the Town here this morning, and brought to you by Homer Tire and the Homer Tire Real Estate Team. And once again, if you weren't with us on Friday morning, what an exciting morning we had over at Rep Express Catering when we gave we didn't give it away. Homer Tire gave away $10,000, and it was Terry Williams, who's running for city council, who is also her day job. She's a realtor at Aldridge and Sutherland, and she won the $10,000. So congratulations to her. In fact, we saw Terry out at the at University Chop House on Saturday night for the pregame show. We had a good time out there, and she came out, and we were congratulating her. But it was quite an event. And, of course, that's just, some of Homer's marketing. Homer Tire does more aggressive marketing than any real estate agent in Greenville history. There is no doubt about it. And if you want to list your home, here's the number, 758-HOME, 758-4663. That's the number for the Homer Tire Real Estate Team. And Homer can put you into any of the programs that he's working on, including the home retire guarantee, which is if he doesn't sell your home by the deadline and for the price you need, he'll buy the home from you himself, guaranteed, which is pretty amazing stuff. And we were just talking about this on Friday.
Have you seen the video?
What video?
The video of yeah,
oh no, I did not.
Pretty cool. Homer's got a whole a video that's been
put together. Is that on his website?
Yeah, but he tagged. So is
that guaranteedselLNC.com?
I'll put it on our Facebook page. It's actually
all right, good.
It's a tag on the Facebook
the moment
page.
At which Terry Williams won the $10,000. Also, remember you can fire Homer at any time and pay him nothing. But if you want to see that video, you can go to his website, guaranteedselLNC.com, or is it on his Facebook page?
Facebook page. We're going to put it on ours too.
Okay. Very good. So congratulations to Terry Williams. By the way, just picked up some information that was given to us by a friend that says, with regard to the city council, of course, Terry Williams is the candidate in District 4. We understand that there were flyers again at churches all over Greenville yesterday with this information that has been being forwarded by someone, if it's Political Action Committee, about some of the things that Calvin Mercer wrote in his book entitled Slaves to Faith. Now, as you know, Calvin Mercer has denied some of the things that the PAC was saying, but then they doubled down and came back and actually started quoting page numbers of things that he wrote. And so apparently that was distributed yesterday at churches all over town. And I understand it was like 4 pages long that quoted specific things that Calvin Mercer had written in his book. Now, is that going to be a factor in this race? I would think that it might be.
I feel like it could be.
It's going to be interesting to see. So we'll see. Got an email from Neil talking about the Florida International. Says what is even more sad about the attendance is the fact that they have nearly 50,000 students there. But, that doesn't mean anything because, the University of Cincinnati has about 50,000 students, and we used to go up there and there'd be, 3,000 people in the stands.
Football at FIU is just not going to take.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to Raleigh. We got Patrick on the line. Patrick's been doing live reports on WPTF this morning, the North Carolina News Network, and we want to find out if there's anything going on. We keep hearing about this teacher protest this morning. Patrick, good morning. Well, they're calling it a walk-in because they think that – I actually heard the NCAE president say it sounds more positive than a walk-out. Good marketing.
He did, and he did say that they are not organizing this, but they do, I guess, encourage or support would be the better way to put that, the teachers' rights to, do whatever it is they're doing today in protest. By
the way, Senator Phil Berger you've probably seen it, has a press release out this morning saying he does not believe that. He thinks that this is a statewide effort by the North Carolina Association of Educators in an effort to increase their membership, is what he's saying.
Well, from what we could tell up here, and I don't know what it is like in other parts of the state necessarily, but in the Greater Triangle, it does appear that this was done prior to the school bell ringing this morning. At least that's the reporting that we're getting and the indications we're receiving this morning. Now, that might just be at 1 or 2 elementary schools. I'm not saying that it was not totally non-disruptive, but at least in the coverage that I have been a part of, at least that I've heard this morning from people out in the field reporting back to us, that this was not disruptive. And that parents, I guess, the big thing here is the parents. There's some parents who don't believe this is the right place at the time for the teachers to be taking their message to the streets, if you will. And there's some parents who are supportive who I think have gone in some cases and watched the class while this was going on this morning. So certainly, you know this as well as anybody. Anytime you get people's kids involved and education involved, whether it's on like a school board local level or even on the state level, that can be radioactive.
Yeah, and the other thing that you wonder, and again, if they're parents, that's one thing. But they were recruiting people on Facebook and other places last week before this thing blew up in their face, saying we need volunteers to come sit with the kids while we're protesting, which of course is that's a really bad idea.
Well, there was a school up here where they sent flyers home to parents, which outraged one lady we talked to.
Well, if it was my kid, and they're just recruiting people on the internet to come sit with my children in my classroom.
And you don't know who they are, yeah. I mean, that's obviously.
I tell you what I do. I'd keep them home because, I mean, what education value is there going to be in my child sitting in a classroom while the teacher's out in the yard protesting the legislature?
Well, better yet, of course, this is not to say they did this, but if you don't know if it's not a parent that you know, how comfortable are you with somebody you don't know?
Exactly my point. Yeah, you're right. All right, so at this moment, for what you're hearing, there are some protests, but you're hearing that because I think they were trying to. I think the idea was they said that they were as soon as the morning bell rang, is the way it was put. I'm looking at what is called the NCAE Walk-In for Public Education Suggested Action Steps. Now, this was provided by the North Carolina Association of Educators. And it says, when the bell rings, all participants enter the school together. And so I guess you're right. They were out in the yard protesting, and then when the bell rings, they all enter the school together. But, you know, it seems like a bad time to be doing a protest. The kids are in school. You're taking the focus off the kids. And, you know, again, it seems to me like North Carolina Association of Educators stepped in it with this.
Well, what it does, how effective were they when they marched on Jones Street? Much more, because they had huge groups out there. That seems to be a lot less controversial than this, because this is really, are teachers underpaid in this state? Absolutely. I don't think anybody would disagree with that in general. But like you say, to sort of take this where it impacts the kids, that's where people are going to get off that bandwagon, so to speak, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Patrick Johnson, live in Raleigh. I know you're busy this morning. We appreciate your live report to your Eastern flock.
Always great to talk to you, Big Hen. How was your weekend?
It was good. Did you watch any of the East Carolina?
No, we did not get it. We don't get the Big 7 up here.
You don't get WI-10 up there?
No, and I saw our friend David Horn's tweet pic of where they had them broadcasting.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I've broadcast games from North Pitt where the broadcast vantage point was better.
Let me tell you this, though. If you ever did a game in the old Houston, and I don't know if it's any better now, but when we used to go down to Houston to do the East Carolina game, I was begging to go on top under the tent. We actually they would put us in a press box area so small, and you know it was Tim Moreland and myself, and you know we're a couple of pretty huge guys.
Right.
And I just asked the SID over there, I'm like, do you mind if we go up and broadcast on the top of the building? And we actually went up there, and I don't know if you remember, it was like that triple overtime game, and the wind started blowing about 50 knots. And, you know, Tim's toupee flew off. It was terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell him I said.
We had this one from the picture. They were in the end zone almost.
I know. I saw that on Facebook. Terrible.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, PJ. Nice to hear from the great P-Man this morning. It's always a pleasure.
It's always nice to be on. Mama Johnson loves it when I'm on the TOT.
Tell Mama J hello.
I will. See you guys.
See you. Bye-bye. All right, we got to go to break. Don't forget, as we go to break, reminder again, Steve Logan Show tonight brought to you by Meineke Car Care. Big week for Coach Logan. He's being inducted into the ECU Hall of Fame along with David Garrard Friday night. Call Coach Logan tonight and congratulate him and talk a little sports with a coach tonight, 6 to 8 here on 103.7 and 94.1. We'll be right back.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a living manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
Don't miss the Shaw Floors You Save, We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Tire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
All right, let's check sports. Here's McGee on sports.
Panthers over the Falcons on Sunday, 34-10 to move to 5-3 on the season. Next up are the 49ers. Of course, ECU with a big win over FIU on Saturday, 34-13 to become bowl eligible now for the third time in 4 seasons. The Pirates will host Tulsa this weekend, homecoming in Greenville at 3:45 against the Golden Hurricane.
All right, very good. That is our talk of the town for this morning. Thanks to everybody for being here. Again, a couple of program notes for you. Where are we doing the pregame this weekend, by the way?
We're going to be at the Taco Bell off of Memorial.
Okay, and do we know the times?
Out toward PCC.
Do we know the times?
2 hours before, so it's going to be a
1:30?
11:45 to 1:45. I'm sorry.
Well, the game's at 3:30.
Yeah, 12:45.
You have no idea, do you?
To 2:45.
We'll let you know tomorrow.
That's an hour before.
That's our Choose Pews Pirate Game Day countdown. And don't forget, Steve Logan tonight. Call Coach Logan. Again, he and David Garrard are going to be inducted into the ECU Hall of Fame here in Greenville. He's going to be here at the game this weekend. We got basketball Friday night. Our Meineke Car Care Logan Zone tonight, 6 to 8 here on 103.7. Everybody have a great Monday. Enjoy this great weather. See you tomorrow.
Rick Crossgreen knows Greenville and its people. He's been helping Greenville grow and prosper for nearly 30 years. He's the man to help us plan our next 30 years of growth and prosperity.
I want to help Greenville realize its great potential as a vibrant city, rich in cultural and recreational amenities, attractive to business and industry, a great place to live and work. Together we can make a city that's ready for the future, ready for our children. I seek your support.
Vote Richard Crossgreen for District 5. Healthy growth for Greenville.
Times are hard, so they trade you what we got. Take a shot, have some faith.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Attention Eastern North Carolina. The absolute best selection of used cars and trucks is at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville. And you can be driving today for as low as $99 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep has acres of used sedans, used minivans, used SUVs, and used trucks. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Lincoln, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Ford, and Chevy. Even hard to find used luxury vehicles. So bring in your old car and trade up with payments as low as $99 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a living manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.